Our world started with fear, but this is the story of how we discovered strength. I never thought this would be our story. You plan for a joyful birth, decorate the nursery, imagine bringing your baby home. You don't picture intensive care. You certainly don't expect to hear that your child may face serious challenges right from the start. Our journey didn't begin in a cozy nursery. It started in the humming, beeping silence of the NICU, neonatal intensive care unit, where every breath was a prayer and every hour a fight we hadn't prepared for. It was a Tuesday. I was 28 weeks along and feeling fine. Then came a sharp cramp, different from anything I'd felt. I brushed it off at first, but then came another, stronger one. By the time we reached the hospital, panic had taken over. Inside, time blurred. Doctors spoke urgently, words like preterm labor and fetal distress echoing through the room. In just hours, we went from planning baby showers to hearing I'd need an emergency C-section. The moment is hard to describe. Everything you imagined, the happy tears the moment you hold your baby, shifts into the unknown. I remember seeing my husband's face, pale with fear. We both felt lost. The delivery room was bright and cold, not the place of warmth we'd imagined. I saw our son Leo for only a few seconds before he was taken away. He was just over 2 pounds. He didn't cry right away, and the silence felt heavier than anything I'd ever experienced. He was rushed to the NICU because he needed help to breathe. I couldn't hold him. I couldn't even touch him. Hours later, they wheeled me in to see him, a tiny, fragile figure in a web of cords and monitors. This wasn't the joyful beginning I'd envisioned. It felt more like grief and guilt rolled into one. Every day we left the hospital without him. That walkout is something I'll never forget. The NICU became our second home. It had its own rhythm. The sound of heart monitors, alarms signaling changes in vital signs, and whispered medical discussions. I constantly questioned myself. What did I do wrong? Was it something I ate? Something I didn't do? The guilt felt crushing, even though doctors reassured me this was not my fault. It's a feeling many NICU parents share, even when we know better. The days became a routine, scrubbing in, watching machines, hoping for progress. The medical staff became his lifeline. We felt like observers in our own child's life, trying to learn and understand a language we'd never wanted to speak. In the NICU, milestones are different. You don't wait for first words. You wait for the first breath without support. You cheer for every extra ounce gained or every day without alarms. The first time I held him, 5 days later, was unforgettable. A nurse gently placed him on my chest through a tangle of tubes. That skin-to-skin moment, called kangaroo care, brought everything into focus. For the first time, I felt like his mom. But setbacks came too. 1 week, doctors found a common heart condition in preemies called PDA. It was treatable, but terrifying. We watched monitors for days, hoping the medication worked. Every gain was followed by a fresh wave of anxiety. After 87 days, we finally heard the words we'd been praying for. He's ready to go home. The joy was real. But so was the fear. In the NICU, you have a team. At home, you're on your own. We were trained how to use feeding tubes, what to do if he struggled to breathe. Even leaving required a test. Leo had to sit in a car seat for 90 minutes without his oxygen levels dropping. Walking out with him that day was surreal. We were grateful, anxious, overwhelmed. The nurses felt like family. They weren't just caregivers. They were the ones who held us up when we couldn't stand on our own. The first few weeks were filled with cautious joy. We limited visitors to protect his health, which meant we often felt isolated. That part of the journey is rarely talked about. But as the days passed, fear slowly gave way to confidence. The sound of NICU alarms was replaced by laughter and soft coos. We began to trust ourselves and our baby. Today, Leo is a healthy, energetic 4-year-old. Looking at him now, it's hard to believe he started life so small. That journey was the hardest chapter of our lives, but also the one that showed us how strong we really are. If you're in the NICU trenches now, know this: your feelings are valid. Be kind to yourself. Seek support. You are not alone. Leave a comment if you've lived a similar story or just want to show support for a parent going through it. And to the NICU staff everywhere, thank you. You are true heroes. And to our son, you will always be our miracle.